In our 78th season, the Palm Beach Civic Association brings you Palm Beach TV, the island's only newscast. We're sponsored by the Fortin Foundation of Florida. Our mission is to inform town residents about the unique challenges of island life and to highlight the actions and achievements of our leaders and the dynamic people who live here. Now the news.
I'm Wendy Rutledge, and in this week's newscast, we're here in the Town Council chambers, where Town Council members are taking their first deep dive look into options for drinking water when the current contract with West Palm Beach expires in 2029.
They are now testing at least daily, if not more than every day, to detect its presence at the intake to the plant. And the important part there is that the water spends a day or so in the plant before it goes out. So they need to find it early. But yes, daily.
More frequent testing of the water coming into the West Palm Beach water treatment plant, just one of the steps the city has taken to correct and avoid a repeat of the water contamination situation of last May. That's when toxic cylindrospermopsin was detected in the drinking water the town buys from its supplier, West Palm Beach. Heavy chlorination has been found to kill the dangerous bacteria, and West Palm is doing just that. But even that comes with serious health risks.
They found that free chlorine will remove the toxin, or reduce its concentration. But unfortunately, free chlorine causes trihalomethanes, which is a regulated substance,
which can lead to bladder and colon cancers and other dire health risks. Currently, water flowing from West Palm to Palm Beach is considered safe. Yet town leaders have a looming deadline they are facing. 7 years from now, when the town's contract for West Palm Beach water runs out. Sounds like no urgency at all until you consider the many options presented to council today, some of which requiring permits from multiple agencies, feasibility studies, design, construction, literally years worth of planning and building to be ready by 2029. A head-spinning process Councilwoman Julie Ariskog boiled down to this.
What is their process? Where does the water come from?
To begin to address future water sources for the town, engineering firm Kimley-Horn laid out a number of options, starting with the simplest. Just stay with West Palm Beach as the town's water provider. Two advantages: it would be the least expensive, requiring the least amount of construction. The downside? West Palm Beach would retain ownership of the infrastructure. The town of Palm Beach would remain a customer, not a partner, so it would have little product control, and supplemental raw water from Lake Okeechobee would continue to work its way into the system.
Lake Okeechobee is forever polluted, and it's never going to change in our lifetime or even the next generations after us. It's always going to be nutrient rich and full of other things that go in there, pesticides, all these things that go in there with the ag industry around there.
Option 2, build a state-of-the-art reverse osmosis plant on this small town-owned site off Quadrille Boulevard in West Palm Beach. Where would the water come from? The water could be purchased from the city again, having already gone through its full treatment process, including power-activated carbon, chlorination, and UV light, only to be retreated with reverse osmosis as a final finishing treatment. A plan some on the council found untenable.
Well, this seems to be a really silly expenditure. I mean, it's redundant from whatever West Palm Beach actually does. So it's a finishing plant, really.
That's correct.
After West Palm Beach has finished it. I guess if West Palm Beach doesn't install a membrane technology, we would, at a cost of, it looks like, $310 million. I mean, that just seems like a silly expenditure to anyone.
Advantages to the Quadrille site plan would give more control to the town over its water quality. Disadvantages would be its huge expense, digging up roads along Flagler Drive to move the water from the proposed plant to the existing pipes to the island, and it would require the town to establish its own utility and the expenses of additional staff. Then there's option 3, a plan to funnel salty ocean water directly from 5 saltwater wells to be dug at the Phipps Park site, and roughly 8 more wells on the par 3 golf course into a proposed desalination treatment plant.
A primary benefit in this application is that there is no permitting required for use of ocean water. You do not need to see the Water Management District, and you do not need to work with their expectations of what each customer is allowed to use. It is a currently unlimited resource.
Though no required permits and free ocean water are two distinct advantages, council members voiced a flurry of concerns.
This is, taking the largest park really in town and cutting it in half and making it aesthetically really not a very nice place to be. So it's not something that I think at this point I can support.
That certainly would knock the renovation of Phipps Park out of the Phipps Ocean Park, let me be clear, right off the table.
Would kill the proposed project as designed. Something else would have to be designed in this place and proposed to the town for consideration.
Drilling wells is a messy process. It would definitely disrupt play when they're being constructed. And during well maintenance, that's another occurrence where that would be a disruption to golf course play.
Though every option offered had both pros and cons, Palm Beach Civic Association Water Committee co-chair Michael Pusillo expressed frustration.
I'm a little bit disappointed that you are where you are right now, given what's been spent. I think you need to make a decision on this in the next year, because particularly if you're going to be applying for permits to get into the Floridan aquifer, you really are going to need to get that process going much sooner than that.
And he advocated for a closer look at a reverse osmosis plant like the one in Jupiter, which he and his fellow committee members recently toured.
If you have not gone to the Jupiter facility, you should do so, because it is night and day different from West Palm Beach. It is a clean, modern facility in the 21st century that produces water for $3.40 roughly.
Council members acknowledged that fully exploring and understanding water treatment options will require more study from both the engineering firm Kimley-Horn and town staff. And while public discussion of the town's water future is just getting started, it has clearly moved from the back burner to the front and will be on next month's May Council agenda and every agenda over the coming months as town leaders weigh an important decision with no clear standout options as yet. That wraps it up, and we thank you as always for watching, and please join us for our Sunday newscast. And we'll see you next time right here on Palm Beach TV, brought to you by the Palm Beach Civic Association and our viewers.
Palm Beach TV is a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association. We thank our sponsor, the Fortin Foundation of Florida, and encourage you, our viewers, to let us know how we can provide news coverage that best serves our members and residents.